Right, okay, back to the discussions at Sligo County Council level and the problems with having the budget passed. The second estimates meeting today. The Labour Party in Sligo Leitrim has hit out at what it calls the Farcical Pact on Sligo County Council, led by Fianna Fáil, and it also wants those involved in this so-called Pact or agreement to come clean and reveal exactly what was agreed. The Labour Party Sligo Leitrim general election candidate Nessa Cosgrove is on the line. Nessa Cosgrove, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thanks for being. Why is it farcical? Do you think? Is it not part and parcel of council business that groups go into partnership and pacts?
I suppose someone that's not elected, so I don't know the full runnings of the council, and as a concerned citizen, I would have thought, is the whole point of a pact not to pass a budget? Do you know, I think that, it just makes absolutely no sense to me that if you are in a pact with someone, that's the part of the agreement. And I think there's very experienced councillors have made this pact, so I think they know fine well, really, that they should be passing a budget. I think it's a huge opportunity for Sligo, when a new government has come in, that they could have a really progressive or really worthwhile budget could be passed that's actually going to benefit all the people of Sligo. But instead, I just love to know what's in the pact. Like, what's the point of it? If it's not to pass the budget, is it like just to get paid positions on committees or on boards or jobs for the boys? Is what I think it is, actually.
Okay, well, we heard from Patrick Hopkins a few moments ago from people before profit, and he said that's not the case. They're not careerists, as he says it. In fact, he didn't want to use the word pact at all. So you think the public have a right to know as to what the agreement is that right?
I do. I just think, what's the point? And I'd love to know, is the pact still intact, or is this going to happen again next year? Is it going to be all the positions that people within this pact, like in my understanding, if you enter into a pact that a budget is passed, which you agree on, otherwise why enter the pact? Like, I think if I was elected, I wouldn't have got into the pact if I didn't agree on the budget. And then I suppose and I know just from talking to other people that have been in the council, to say that then I suppose if you got, it's called control of the council, that you get to get on paid boards, you get to be chair of certain committees. So there's a lot of, I suppose, power there going on, and I just think you can't have it both ways. Either enter into a pact and agree with the budget, or don't go into the pact at all.
Right, okay. Well, so some might say this is rich coming from the Labour Party because you don't have any councillors on Sligo County Council, nor Leitrim County Council, nor Donegal County Council. So
I know, but I think though that if I got elected, I wouldn't have entered a pact if I wasn't going to pass a budget. Otherwise, I just think it's a farce, and I think that, like, why? I suppose you have to make hard decisions sometimes in your job, but it could have been a real opportunity to have a progressive budget, to be seen that that you're actually going to bring about real changes rather than just saying I'm not supporting it. And I think both people going into it, all parties involved going into it, know this. So they probably should. Why enter the pact in the first place? I just think it's a cod.
Okay, well, what would Labour do differently if you were in the position, if you were on Sligo County Council and you were approached or considered for membership of this pact or agreement or whatever? What would the Labour Party do? Would you rule it out?
I wouldn't have got in. If I didn't agree with it, if I wasn't prepared to pass a budget or didn't agree with what was going ahead in a budget, but I would try to negotiate the best budget I possibly could. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gotten into it. And I think now that, led by Fianna Fáil, are expecting the opposition, like Independents and Fine Gael, to pass this budget when the responsibility lies with them. They're the ones that set up this agreement. They're the ones that agreed with this pact, all the parties in the pact. But there is an alternative system that you could have. It's a DeHaan system, which they use in other European countries, like in Spain and Denmark. And I know Cork City Council have done it very successfully. So it's like a power sharing where everyone has a consensus. Everyone that's elected has an agreed. They try to agree a consensus about budgets, about different committees, about different developments in the area. But it's agreed. You don't have to get into this DeHaan system, but if you do, you support it in a way that everyone has a say.
Right,
maybe this whole idea of a pact is a bit archaic. Maybe we should be moving away from the pact.
Well, I know that the DeHaan system was employed at one time on, I think it was Sligo Borough Council, to my memory. Right. Memory serves me right. It was availed of at one stage. What do you see? Is that what you see? This is that the pact or agreement is more to do with positions and sharing out of positions than passing budgets and what's in the best interests of the people of County Sligo in this instance.
Absolutely. I'd love to add. That's why I'm asking. I suppose, why enter the pact if it's not about passing a budget? To me, it just seems like that. It's just about getting these positions, getting on chairs, getting on paid boards, And it's not like, I mean, you have to make, you're employed to do a job. Like, that's your job. You've been elected to do a job. And I think you should pass the budget. And it could have been a real opportunity to pass a very good budget if it was properly negotiated. That's what I'd love to know. What other terms are agreed? What else is in the pact if it isn't to pass the budget?